Right.
Well, Magic, again. Inside Humphrey Coliseum, Jack Pilgrim here with Stephen Peak, where we just witnessed an all-timer, 91-89, another Super Bowl, another T-shirt night, another towel night for Kentucky basketball, where the stage was set for a court storming. That was kind of the story of the week with the Kyle Filipowski, the Duke, Wake Forest, all that, where, the will they, won't they of court storming across college basketball has kind of taken over. And there was a moment.
They were 4.5-point favorites also.
There was a moment as 4.5-point favorites. Mississippi State is up 4 points with 4 minutes and 51 seconds left, and a graphic shows up on the Jumbotron here in the Hump. And it basically warns fans, please do not rush the floor no matter how this game ends. Just a nice little warning, letting fans know that they don't want to be in the news after the inevitable happens, because they had led by 13 points in the second half, absolutely kicking Kentucky's butt for the majority of it, just kind of enforcing its will, physicality being such a problem for Kentucky at times, and that's kind of how they were planning to beat Kentucky. They'd gone on a little run. Kentucky had found a little bit of momentum and gotten it down to 4, but they felt good. They felt good about where things stood. And then Reed Sheppard happens. Reed Sheppard comes in a career-high 32 points, and right here, right where we are sitting in this spot, he makes history. Reed Sheppard goes for the game winner to beat the Mississippi State Bulldogs. A really just unbelievable effort all around. So many different opportunities for Kentucky to let go of the rope. This thing could have really unraveled fast. And for the first time in a minute, we saw that resolve that kind of said, there's that physicality, there's that response. And Reed Sheppard was kind of the anchor of all of it.
As far as rushing the court goes, that message, I needed to heed their warning there. I mean, I was so close to storming the court myself, just me. It was going to be a one-person court storming, because I've never seen a Kentucky buzzer beater in person before. That was the first one.
What was the last one in general?
The last one in general, I don't know. We're going to have to go back to, it depends on when you want to call it a buzzer beater. We obviously had Tyler Hero hit a big shot in the NCAA
That's probably the
tournament.
closest to
the tip-in at Florida. Right before this.
We've had
season.
Go-ahead buckets, but a true buzzer beater where, there was 0.5 seconds left on the clock.
Yeah, we were this close to, because, I believe the last one, and this would have been crazy, the last one that, the time goes out, time is off the clock, no time left, would have been in this building, Eric Daniels, 2004.
Wow.
Wouldn't that have been something?
So isn't it kind of crazy? The last time I was in this building was the Dante Allen game.
You almost saw another overtime.
In the middle of just a terrible time where it was just so unenjoyable, and driving down to Starkville, which we'll talk about that later. But that moment was kind of like the one exciting moment of that god-awful 2020-2021 season, and to come back, I was like, well, that was kind of a one-off thing, but to come back and for this to be the experience, awesome crowd, awesome environment, awesome performance. Josh Hubbard for Mississippi State was a dog. That dude just made shot after shot after shot. He goes himself for a career-high 34 points. He's playing as well as anybody. He actually shared co-SEC Freshman of the Year honors with Justin Edwards this past week, because he just did the same damn thing at LSU. So for him to show that resolve, good on him, man. Mississippi State's a tough team. That was kind of the vibe going into this game, was Kentucky has struggled in these types of games, these types of moments. A week ago, they had just lost after giving up a 15-point lead in Baton Rouge. What was going to be the resolve this time around? How would Kentucky respond after a huge momentum-shifting win, blowout inside Rupp Arena over a ranked Alabama team? How would they respond on the road, midweek game, 7 o'clock tip? How would they respond in this moment? And they checked off all the boxes that mattered. John Calipari compared this to a third-round March Madness game, and it really, truly felt that way.
Yeah, and, it's something about this building with John Calipari. I don't believe he's ever lost here. And the way that they're able to win, they've been down double digits in the second half in this building several times. You want to go back to his first year, Calipari's first year at Kentucky, that John Wall team was lucky to get out of here with a win. They made plays down the stretch. In 2011, that championship team, even, I think they were down double digits in the second half in this building. And the Dante Allen game. There is just so many ways that Kentucky's been able to come out of Starkville with a win. It's really incredible because, I mean, Mississippi State has actually been a decent program over the last, we're looking at a 96 Final Four. We recognize that logo. We're very familiar with that Final Four year, 1996. But even since then, they've had several good years. This is a team that has won 5 straight coming in. This place was rowdy. I talked to students before the game. Get this, Jack. This is the longest they've ever waited to get into a basketball game. It's crazy how that works. But they were fired up.
But definitely not a Super Bowl.
And they try to tell
definitely not.
No.
Sure. They do this for anybody.
They made sure to say, no, we do this all the time. They don't. But they try to tell me that they do it all the time. And I will say, like, when this place brings it, this is the first time I've ever been here, man, it got intimidating. I had to walk away when it got that 4-point play to start the second half. I was like, I'm gonna have to go down, don't go somewhere else, and just let the game happen because I just believed like the magic that happens here. Kentucky was gonna win. But what did you see? And there was a point in the second half where like Kentucky got stops, but then the offense sputtered. And then when they started hitting shots, Kentucky started hitting shots. I mean, this team's kind of been consistently inconsistent. We kind of saw that again tonight, but when you get 32 points from Reed Sheppard, I mean, what is your overall like takeaway from this? What should a fan be thinking about after? Because it's exciting. That was one of the most exciting innings in the last. 10 years.
Well, there was a stretch that basically from the 9, I don't have it, right in front of me, but it was like 9:50 mark down to the 4:51. Actually, that timeout where they were able to show the graphic on the Jumbotron, there was not a single stop in that stretch where you had Big Z just like huffing and puffing up and down the floor. He ended with the team high and plus minus. Shout out Z in that moment. He had a lot of just whoa moments in the wrong way, but he also fought in his own way against a really tough physical matchup there in the front court. But it was basically that segment turned into just a back and forth, where there were like 4 or 5 different moments where I was like, damn, it just feels like whoever's going to have the ball last is going to win this game. And then you got to that final segment, and it really was 4 of 4 for Mississippi State in the last to close out the game. 4 of 4 for Kentucky to close out the game. Both teams, I mean, it was just back and forth, and it did end up coming down to who had the last shot. And thank God. It was Reed Sheppard. It was Reed Sheppard right here in this moment, man. He just kept doing amazing things. There was one time John Calipari actually said that he was going to choke out Reed because there was a moment where Kentucky had it up 6 with 35 seconds left, and then he throws this errant pass and it leads to a foul, and then they hit free throws and it ends up down to 1 point in the final seconds. We're like, how the hell? I got whiplash from how fast things turned for the wrong.
It was incredible.
And to his credit, after making that very, very bad play, he responds, makes some free throws, and then obviously hits the game winner. It just
What did you think when they hit that 3? I heard that you called it. You've just been calling all these road games all of a sudden, but I'd heard that you had made a prediction right before that play happened.
Well, as it was unfolding, I said this is going to come down to will John Calipari call a timeout up 3, or is John Calipari going to foul with Kentucky up 3 in the final seconds? He did not foul, and it ends up with a Josh Hubbard.
Did you know it was going in?
It looked pretty good from my angle.
Was it 35 feet?
It was a long way.
You cannot tell on the baseline how far these shots are.
Dude, it was a long way, and it was just his moment. I mean, it felt like we were in Josh Hubbard's moment. So many different times where you're just kind of living through him, where you're like,
it's his movie.
It's his movie. It's his show. Like, we have so many different opportunities where, Antonio Reed's at Auburn, where it was his kind of show there in the second half. Reed, there were a couple moments where we were like, ooh, maybe this is going to be Reed's moment. But then there were just that many more where it really did feel like it was going to be Josh Hubbard's night. And then Reed responds back and says, no, this is my place. This is my home. It's just this was the game that we needed to see out of Kentucky. We'd seen them steamroll really good teams. We'd seen them crumble against bad teams. How would they respond in a tight back-and-forth battle, hitting the shots and coming up with the stops late against a very, very good Mississippi State team? How would they be able to do that in that moment? And then for them to win close. We needed to see what this team looked like winning close, and to do it 91-89, that's exactly what you wanted with 3 games left in the regular season ahead of March Madness.
Yeah, and I went up just to be with some Kentucky fans at the under
Some
3.
Go Big Blue chants,
Some
too.
Go Big Blue chants.
That was awesome.
And as the arena was emptying, I mean, I walked back around here to get down to that spot because I wanted to get the players coming off the court. I thought this is going to be another minute. I had to hurry because the game was ending. I didn't know we were going to have 2 minutes of drama to close it out. But yeah, their fans were leaving. Kentucky fans at the Go Big Blue chants. That's what made when Hubbard hits that 3 to tie it. I mean, I looked up to where those Kentucky fans were, and they were all standing. They were all gathering their things. They were just like, this game's got to be over with.
We won.
I honestly couldn't believe I was like still in the building watching the game. But Reed Sheppard, I'll tell you what, he saved you 7 hours of me just in your ear on the way back, because I would have been devastated. That would have been one of the toughest rides home.
I don't know if we would have made it home, just to be totally transparent. Yeah, I just shout out. I mean, this team.
I love the reaction.
It's had its moments. It's had the ups, but it's had so many downs that you could never just really trust them, just to go all in and trust them. There were moments where you didn't want to trust them in this one, and then for them in that moment, as we're trending toward March, where everything's kind of like, all right, it's kind of do or die time. We need to see this, whether they can do it or not. And this was a March Madness game. This truly felt like something that you would experience in the Boston Regional, or a game to go to the Final Four. That's what this game felt like, and that's what they showed some heart. They showed some stones there late. So different guys. Rob Dillingham coming in cold, bad turnovers, missing shots. Bad defense, bad fouls. For him to hit that 3 in the corner to kind of to take the lead for the first time and kind of make it a reality of, we could actually come back and win this game.
Yes. Yeah.
He had that moment, then he had that crazy drive at the basket, beautiful finish at the rim. Antonio Reeves, again, dude just goes out, 21 points, 8 of 15 shooting. Again, one game after another where he proves that, he's not just an All-American, he's not just one of the SEC Player of the Year, he's a draft pick. That dude deserves to be in the NBA. A team will draft him this upcoming summer, and he deserves it just about more than anybody. Just a great all-around performance. Adu Thiero had his moments. DJ Wagner, how about DJ Wagner going out there, finally making some shots? He had missed 15 straight three-pointers. He goes out there, and in this environment, people starting to doubt him. Cal really kind of went on a little mini rant about DJ and how he responded in his own resolve. It didn't show a whole lot on the box score with 4 assists, 10 points, but 3 of 5 shooting, 2 of 4 from 3. Yeah. He was terrific in his own right. Just little guys. Reed was the star, but everybody else kind of fell into their roles as well to lead to this comeback win. Yeah, and DJ's 2 threes, if you don't have those, you're down like 14 at the break, and things look a little bit different. So, I mean, that was big. And it's big that he hits those shots. Cal pointed out in the press conference that he was shooting, 40% before his injury, and then went 0 for 15. So, you coming back from an injury, you haven't played in a while, you're a little tight, miss a few shots, then you start getting real tight. Good for him to see some balls go in through the basket. That should hopefully lead to his confidence. But as far as the team confidence, I heard Adu Thiero coming off the court, and he was like, finally one went our way. And it does feel like in the last few close games, the ball just didn't go in, or it goes in and LSU gets a lucky last second shot. And that has to do something for this team too, to know that we got this. This is a close game. If you're gonna make a tournament run, you're not gonna blow out everybody. You're gonna need to have a Brandon Knight, Aaron Harrison. Somebody's gonna have to hit a shot. You're gonna have to get a stop. They were able to do that tonight, and really they won the game outright. It just became they lost the mini game until Reed bailed them out. But that was what was impressive. They turned what I thought they were about ready to get run off the court. I mean, I don't know if you felt it. It was close. There were 4 opportunities where they could have let go of the rope. Yeah, and I thought it was coming, and they would hit a big shot. They would get a stop, and I'm so excited, man. I can't even tell you the last time that we were trying to come up with the last time Kentucky won a buzzer beater. I have been in the building for buzzer beating losses, but not for a buzzer beating win. And to have it in a road environment just made it so much sweeter. That was so much fun. It ain't done. This road, they haven't won anything. This isn't a championship. There's still games left to be played, and it's kind of this trap season coming up. You got a quad 3 against Arkansas at home on Saturday, then a quad 4 at home on senior night. Those 2 back-to-back, you got to keep building on this momentum. You found it. You have it in your hand. Don't let it, this is kind of the time where championship contenders start trending in the right direction and show that they have what it takes to make a run. and it's there. If they have it in their grasp, don't open your hand. Don't let it slip through your fingers. Win both of these games, and then just kind of let that game in Knoxville decide. Just let that be playing with house money. Just let that go into March. See if you can go steal it down there. We've seen this team play in those types of environments. Auburn, every time backs against the wall, everybody doubted them, so they couldn't win those games. They've gone and do that. Go steal that one. Let's go into March with some real tangible momentum. It wouldn't have happened without the way they closed out in Starkville. We're going to celebrate. John Calipari said that we're going to celebrate this one because they deserve it. This is an awesome, awesome win, and we're going to celebrate. How do you celebrate in Starkville? I don't even know.
You got to get out of Starkville.
So we're going to be celebrating in Tupelo tonight.
Yes, we will.
Go Cats. Make sure you are subscribing. Keep on celebrating. We have a lot of fun here in store here on the KSR YouTube page. We'll see you Rep Arena on Saturday. Sound good?
Yeah.
Sound good? We'll see you then.